But if the whole speech that lasts for the 5 minutes went on like this, it's almost equal to monotone to the listeners. So you will somehow distract the audience attention that we cannot really focus on the meaning of your speech. And second, it would be rather odd, different to the suggestion I gave to other clubs. Speakers always want to be very fluent during your speech. But the problem I noticed today is too fluent that speakers don't ever stop at all without any pause. So it's a little bit tired for the listeners, audience downstage, that sometimes we cannot really absorb the idea or the details of your sharing. So that would be a little bit pity. And it is okay to pause a little bit, because that will even get the audience attention to what you are going to say next. So don't be afraid to stop and look at the audience, because you can share the atmosphere, the flow between you and the listeners downstage. Alright, and then I'll go down to some details. Maybe I will mention several names, but that is okay. Don't feel upset if I mention your name, because people learn from it. And I often pick up by the teachers when I'm a student. And I think that is the most efficient way to improve yourself. You know that is what's the mistake I made. And everybody knows it. And you will not make the same mistake again. So first of all, let's start with the senior here, so he wouldn't feel so embarrassed. Phil! Relax! Also, I have to say that it's very important to listen to others' mistakes, because you might be making the same thing too. Alright, the differences between look and see. You mentioned that see the audience. But I believe what you are trying to say is look at the audience will be more appropriate, because when you want to focus on a target, on someone or something, you use the term look. When you are seeing, that means you're intentionally seeing around. It's very simple terms that everybody learns since junior high or even elementary school. No offense. Yeah, I made mistakes too for myself, because we're non-native speakers, that's okay. So keep that in mind. You look at something with a purpose, so you have to look at the audience. You don't just see the audience. Yeah, that's unconsciously. And second one, a speaker says that she wants to be Wendy, who is the characteristic in Peter Pan. I believe you want to say character, because characteristic is more of like describing personality or personal traits. Alright, one of the judges says that try to put some vocal variety into your speech. I think the more proper term would be add vocal variety, because put is more physical, you put something into something. Oh, okay. Brendan. I love your speech, because I love animals too. You said, give me a try. When you ask someone else to give you a try, that is perfectly correct. But now you describe that you gave yourself the opportunity to give yourself a try. The subject is yourself, so the object should be myself. Give myself a try instead of give me a try. And someone said, if you're interested in going to somewhere else, if you're interested in going to somewhere else. And also, just one simple point. Some of the vocabularies, they look exactly the same when it's a noun and when it's a verb. For example, record, record. If you get confused, always remember that the accent lies at the second syllable will be the verb. I heard someone said, me and my sister burst out at the same comment. So, at the same command. So, command is the verb. So, I believe you want to say is that we burst out at the same comment. So, if you forgot, just remember that the accent on the second syllable is the verb, not the noun. Alright. I think that is all I could do to give you suggestions because you are way too good to be the C1 speaker. Oh my God. Thank you, everyone.